If you believe that your method or your framework isn't, air quotes, enough, if you believe it's not enough, then guess what? You're going to keep tweaking it. You're going to keep shifting it. You're going to keep rearranging it, adding this, take it. I mean, you're going to keep doing everything instead of actually selling it, right? Instead of actually offering it and putting it out into the world. Your offer is your identity monetized. It's your identity monetized. If your sales feels off, your audience isn't the problem. It isn't. It's the version of you who created the offer, program, service in the first place. Because when your offer, program, or service is built from a place of power, when it's built from a place of alignment, when it's built from a place of certainty and clarity, guess what? It then becomes a transmission instead of a transaction. You got it? All right. So your off really and truly is a reflection of who you believe that you are, plain and simple. So welcome back, you guys, to the Charyse Williams Show. This is the space where high achieving providers, nurses and nurse practitioners, right, stop playing small and step fully into their power, step fully into their purpose, and step fully into their profit. And in today's episode, we are literally, let's call this episode a look in the mirror in such a beautiful way. Okay, in such a beautiful way. So, as I mentioned, your offer is your identity monetized. It truly means that, and here's it truly is. And here's the thing: this might sting a little bit, or that might sound weird a little bit, but I'm going to unpack it. So just stay with me, okay? Just stay with me. If your sales, if your conversions feel off, right? If the people are coming into your brick and mortar, if you have a brick and mortar, the people that the things that you're doing online, if it's not, clicking, right? It's not your audience. It's not your platform. The algorithm doesn't hate you, probably, right? But if truly, it's the version of you who created the offer, program, or service in the first place, right? So when your offer, if your offer was born, if it was created out of a place of, from a place of self-doubt, from a place of fear, from a place of scarcity, from a place of either like fear of judgment, maybe fear of being too much, maybe from a place of not enough, perhaps. If it was born from that place, any of those places, then it really, it feels like a pitch. It feels heavy. It feels even scary it feels unsafe. Let's go with that. It feels unsafe to offer it. Okay. And so if you're wondering, like, how come, I have this thing, how come I'm not offering it? That's the reason why. Okay. But when it is created from a place of power, from a place of alignment, from a place of certainty, from a certain level of clarity, then guess what happens? It becomes a transmission. And people don't just want to buy it. They literally, I can't tell you how many times people have said, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I've been looking for. This is exactly what I've been looking for. Like, this, they feel like this is where they were supposed to be or meant to be the entire time inside of my program, inside of your program. Okay. And so what you believe about yourself is what gets baked into your offer. I'm going to repeat that. What you believe about yourself is what ultimately gets baked into your offer. So let me unpack that for a bit. If you believe that you have to work harder than everybody else, right, in order to prove your worth, guess what? Your offer is going to be so overstuffed with stuff that doesn't even matter. I hate to say it like that, but that ultimately is not going to make a huge shift for your patients or your clients. Okay. And actually let that even be an indicator. If you feel yourself moving or coming from a place of like that proving energy, number one, just kind of notice it. Oh, okay. I think I'm trying to prove myself here. And then number two, let that be your signal that something is out of alignment. Okay. The other thing, like if you believe that people can't afford your service or your product, your program, right? If that's a belief, then guess what? Your price is going to reflect that. And number one, you're not going to be able to offer boldly. Number two, your price is going to reflect that. And you guys have heard me say this again, but for those of you who are new, I will say it yet again. Your pricing is part of your positioning, right? Your pricing attracts certain people and repels other people. And so it's very important that your pricing is in alignment with one, who you are, but two, also the offer, the transformation that you offer. Okay. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother podcast. Maybe I'll jump into that and really unpack that for you guys next time. But the other thing is, if you believe that your method or your framework isn't, air quotes, enough, if you believe it's not enough, then guess what? You're going to keep tweaking it. You're going to keep shifting it. You're going to keep rearranging it, adding this, take it. I mean, you're going to keep doing everything instead of actually selling it, right? Instead of actually offering it and putting it out into the world, which is where it needs to be. Okay. So your offer, and this is the beautiful thing about it, your offer is really showing you exactly where your identity needs to evolve. That's a beautiful thing. That's a gift, you guys. That's a beautiful gift, okay? Because your business will only grow to the level of your self-identity. I've said that before, and it's so true. Your business, you can't outperform, you can't outwork, your business can only grow to the level of your self-identity. That's why self-identity is such a key player, a key component, right, to the success of your business, right? So here's what I want you to try on. I want you to try this on. What if, I like to play the what if game, right? What if you started treating your offer like a mirror, right? What if you started treating your offer or your program, your service, whatever, like a mirror? So every time you hesitate to post about it, every time you hesitate to share it, whether that's in a consult, whether, face to face in a consult, whether that's on the phone or on a Zoom, whatever the case may be, every time you hesitate to, price it the way you really want to price it, whenever you hesitate to promote it in any way, shape, or form, instead of changing the offer, instead of changing it, I want you to ask yourself, just stop in that moment and just ask yourself, who do I need to become? Who do I need to become to confidently share this, to confidently sell this? That's a powerful question, right? So before you shift it again, who do I need to become in order to sell this, or in order to share this, or in order to enroll someone into this, right? Because when your identity evolves, your sales strategy just got exponentially simpler, because it's coming from a place of certainty, right? When you're anchored in that clarity, when you're anchored in that power, when you're anchored in that alignment, when you're anchored in that conviction, you can't help but share it. You can't help but share your offer. Like it's like bubbling out of your mouth every time you look around. And the beautiful thing is, you don't chase clients or patients. They end up you become a magnet. Literally, you become a magnet. They become so magnetized to you that it's unbelievable. Okay, and not just you attract aligned clients. Let's just make sure we underline that, aligned clients, right? You attract them, and they start sending you DMs, or they start reaching out. They either come to the office or send you, call the office, or again, reach out to you in Messenger, whatever the case may be. And they're like, finally, I've been looking for you. This is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I've been looking for. I cannot tell you how many times I hear that. That's what you want. That's what you want. That's what we're after here, right? So let this just drop in, right? And I want you to really contemplate this. Grab a piece of paper or notebook. Hopefully, I would love to believe that every time you listen to this podcast, you're sitting in front of a cozy fire with a comfy blanket and a journal. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're not. You're probably driving or commuting or doing whatever you're doing. I typically listen to podcasts when I'm doing my hair and makeup. So I normally don't have anything, available to write with, but I do want you to contemplate this. And if you can write it, all the more better. If not, or all the better. If not, at least contemplate, like just take a few seconds to contemplate this. What would my offer, right? I want you to ask yourself, what would my offer look like if I fully believed in my power to transform lives? Yeah, we're going there. What would my offer look like if I fully believed in my power to transform lives? Contemplate that. And then I have a second thing for you to contemplate. Yeah, what part of my identity is asking to be upgraded in order to hold this next level of success? Okay, lean into that and literally let this be like a frequency check, a frequency check in, if you will, before you write your next post, before you get on your next consult call, before you hop on the next Zoom, before you see your next client in office, whatever the case may be, before you offer your next program, right? Whatever the case may be, check in with yourself and like literally let that be your check-in. Okay. All right. And with that, if this resonated with you on any level at all, I want to invite you into the Quantum Leap Collective, you guys. The Quantum Leap Collective is not just, we don't just create offers. Number one, we create aligned offers, but we build movements. We build movements rooted in clarity, rooted in confidence, and rooted in cash flow. Period. Point blank. End of story. So if you need more of that in your life, I want you to either scroll down to the show notes, look in the show notes, and click on the link that says Quantum Leap Collective, or you can send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram. My links are down below in the show notes. And literally, I want you to DM me QLC. That's Quantum Leap Collective, QLC. Okay, and I'll be sure to get you the details on that, because your next quantum leap isn't about doing more. I just need you to know that it is not about doing more. It's about becoming the version of you that was always meant to lead at this level. All right. So that being said, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Charyse Williams Show. Again, if this resonates with you, shoot me a DM and just put QLC. I'll get you some details there, or you can click on the link below. And huge ask, share this episode with someone that you know. Like, as you were listening to this, you were like, "Ooh, she needs to hear this. They need to hear this." Right? Share it with that person. Okay. All righty. Bye for now. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next time on another episode of the Charyse Williams Show. Bye.